inject your message into your customers. Hi, I'm Brian Pombo. Welcome back to Brian J. Pombo Live. I'm using this language very specifically today because there's been a news story out there where they took something that President Trump had said and said that it was about injecting disinfectant, somehow getting disinfectant qualities into the inside of your system, and they took it to mean that he was talking about injecting bleach or some of these other outward disinfectants and so forth. So there's been back and forth all day over that in the social media and so forth between people that love Trump, hate Trump, and everywhere in between. So not going to get into that, but I love the idea of injecting a concept, an idea, injecting something directly in to the minds of your customers or potential customers. How do you go about doing that? I'm going to go through a real quick crash course of how you go about setting that up for yourself. And I'm going to take two very separate ideas. One of them is a bit of a what you would call the marketing triangle, and it's discussed by Dan Kennedy quite a lot. One book he has, let me see if I have it right here. I don't see it. It's around here somewhere. It's the Ultimate Marketing, the Ultimate Guide to Marketing, I believe it's called, by Dan Kennedy. And that book, I'm just checking this. Oh, here it is right here. Ultimate Marketing Plan is what it's called. Ultimate Marketing Plan by Dan Kennedy. This is a great book. And he talks about this. I'm not sure if he calls it the marketing triangle or he just uses a triangle to show it. Let me show you a little picture of it right there on some of the first pages. It's a concept that I've discussed quite a bit on this video show before, and we've also discussed it. I've discussed it in length in other videos on my website. So you're welcome to look into more details on that. But I'm going to talk about that. I'm also going to talk about how that relates to Simon Sinek's concept of the, what is it called? The golden circle or something like that. And we'll get into that in a second. So these are two separate ideas that I think can get confused if you're just looking at them from a very surface angle. The first step is when you're talking about marketing, when you're talking about getting a message out there to your customers or potential customers, I like to deal with this concept that Kennedy talks about, and it starts with really basing everything on the market. In other words, the who of what you're going after. You want to go after the market. You want to think about who you're focusing on first. And then you're going to want to go from there and say, well, what do I want to tell them? What is the message that needs to be delivered to that market? So we've got the market, the people we're going after, the audience, the end customer, if you want to call it that. Then you have the message. What's the message? What am I wanting them to do? What am I wanting them to think? Where am I wanting them to go? What am I selling them? What is the message? What? So the who to the what. And then that will help you determine the media. Okay? The media is the where and the when and the how. Okay? So it goes in that direction, in that order. The problem is, if you're familiar with any type of marketing, most of the time, business owners and people running businesses start with the media. They say, I want to do a Facebook ad. I want to put up a billboard. I want to get a yellow page ad going. They focus on the media first and then try and bend it backwards. And it doesn't work as well because you're starting on the wrong end. You're picking the media, and then you're trying to see how to make that fit, and eventually you're paying attention to the who if you're lucky. But in reality, it needs to go the other way. You got to start with the who. Okay, now, but that takes us into Simon Sinek's concepts. And what he says, he has a whole book called Start With Why. And that is the next step. It's actually where we go from here. I'm sorry for the horrible writing here. Okay, I write like a child. Okay, I can't get around it. If I could have someone else write this for me, I would. But it starts with why. And the why is the very broad, very visionary concept. And it's either the concept of, if you're the boss and you're looking to get your message across, I mean, eventually this comes back to here if you're talking marketing, but it also comes back to the who. So why actually comes back to the who. If you know who your who is, you know what their why is. Of course, my pen is going dry. Good thing I prepared for that. I've got another one. So we're going to switch right over to a black pen here. So if you've got the market, you've got the concept for who you're going after, if you know it really well, you're going to find out what their why is. Why? What are they looking for? What are they wanting more of? That will allow you to be able to build your message up better. But then from the why, it comes down to a how. From the why to the how, you focus on the why first and then the how. So this is really, it could be, it's discussed in so many different ways from Simon Sinek, but I'm going to talk about it in the terms of marketing, and he's used these terms as well. But it goes from the why to the how to the what. Also something that is almost always done in reverse, especially when it comes to marketing. You got to think about most commercials you see out there. They're all they're all features. Look at what we have. Look at what it does. Look at the specifics. It has this and that and this and that. And they're not as much focused on the why. When you have a product or a service that focuses on the why first, the reason why you would want the what, and this is the how of how we're going to get there. So if you're focused on the why, you're focused on specifically what the person is after. It's the deeper meaning. What is the end game? What is the main benefit that they're receiving? You focus on that first, and then you talk about how you can do it, and then that leads to the what. This is what you ought to buy. You buy this so that you can have this result via this how. It's once again, we could spend a whole lot of time on this, but if you understand it just on a very basic view, it will change how you do all of your marketing. It makes it so much more simpler because you're focusing in the right direction. Most of the time we focus completely in the wrong direction. We focus on the specifics, the features that we're trying to get out there, because if you're if you're the person that invented the product or you love the product or service, then you're going to be talking features, because that's where your mind's at. But if you've got your focus on the market, on the who, you're going to focus on the why. Why do they want this? What are they really achieving with it? Not just the surface achievement. What are they getting on a deeper level? So very broad concepts here, but extremely useful when you sit down and go over this stuff. So hopefully you found that useful just tonight. This is how you can inject yourself into your customer's mind. You have to get in on the conversation that's already going on in their mind. What are they already thinking about? What are they already after? And then make the connection between that and what you have, and the rest is easy. It's not as much a hard sale that you have to make. It's very much just showing them a solution to a problem they already have. Hopefully that's helpful to you. Go check out other videos and audios over at brianjpombo.com. That's all I got for tonight. We'll be back here tomorrow. In the meantime, get out there and let the magic happen.